Once you've managed to get your joints cut and your base fitting to the right place, when you assemble your box, it should fit with absolutely no gaps anywhere along here. If there are gaps and it's not quite right, or your joints are not quite straight, then you'll need to go back to that stage and make sure that they are straight and you've adjusted them so they work properly. We are now to the stage where we want to glue it together and clamp it so the glue holds it nice and tightly. So what we do first, we'll be using PVA glue to stick it together. PVA glue is what's known as a physical glue, which means it is a type of plastic, and what it does, it seeps into the grain of the wood and then it will harden. Once it's hardened, it will hold that joint together nicely. And of course, with the increased surface area that the lap joint puts in there, it will hold together nice and strongly. Before we put any glue on, we have to make sure it works and we have to make sure it's straight. So what we do is we do a dry run without glue with the clamps that we've got here and the vise that we're going to use here to clamp it together to make sure it works before we put glue all over it, because if we glued it and then it didn't work, it's a lot more hassle to sort it out then. So, step one is we make sure it's together and we place it into our bench vise. And this is relatively simple to do. It can be a bit fiddly, and you want to try and make sure it's as low as you can make it in the vise, obviously checking the vise first in case there's anything in there that's going to mark our wood or make a mess of it. There are two clamps you can use. Now the clamps are conventionally called cramps, not clamps, but we have a G cramp here and we have a sash cramp here. They work in slightly different ways. The sash cramps come in very, very long lengths if you need them, which means you can clamp much larger pieces of work than you can with a G cramp. Today I'm going to use a G cramp because that's what we're probably going to use. In fact, I'll show you how to do it, and I'll probably use both. Okay, so you simply wind this clamp back, you put it in place, and you clamp this material from this direction. You need pressure from both directions because you want that wood to be pushed in this way so it matches the joints here, and also this way to make sure that you get the box the perfect size. The sash cramp, which is what I'll actually use today, adjusts like this. So this thumb screw here, this Tommy bar winds round and this will move this piece up and down. And this piece, you push the little locking nut out and you can change the overall size of it like that. So you get it close to where you want it to be, and then what I will do is I will start doing that up. Once that's done, that's now tight. Okay? We don't want to over tighten our clamps because if we over tighten them, we'll crack our wood or we'll start to bend and warp our wood. I should now be able to undo this clamp and take that one out. That's how secure it is. Okay? Now we need to check our wood to make sure it's going to glue together square. So I'm just going to release this clamp slightly, raise it up a little tiny bit so I can get my tri-square in. If I put my tri-square against the side of my wood and look for a straight edge for this end, it needs to be straight. And also if I turn it around, do the same to this end, I can see that my box is square. I'm now happy and ready to start gluing up.